Hi everyone. Here I'm going to show you how to do the transect survey for NABat using the AnaBat SD2 detector. This is going to be everything you will receive. You have a detector, and there should be batteries, 4 AA batteries to put in. And you're going to have this car mount that comes with a cable, and this is where the microphone will go in, and the microphone for the detector, and you will have a GPS unit and also a battery jack. That's where we put the batteries in. Okay, so to connect everything together, first you need to put the batteries in, and then hopefully the CF card is already in the detector. I will have the card formatted and everything ready to go, so you don't need to take the card out or do anything. So if you see the card that is already in, just leave it like that. And we're going to connect it together. First is the car mount. If the microphone is not in the car mount, you need to take off the top part, just unscrew it. And then use those pins, just follow them where they should be, and then push the microphone in, push all the way down, and then put this part back on. And if the microphone is already in it, probably because the person before you already did that, you just leave it like that. There's no reason to do anything. And you can adjust the car mount by unscrewing this part, and we need to make sure the microphone is 90 degrees facing up, straight to the sky. And to mount it, to put on top of your car, you just take off the red part, and this is the rubber part. If it's really dirty, just wipe off the dust, and you put it on the surface, and you press this part. If you keep pressing, this will pump the air out, and then this red line will eventually disappear, and then this will be connected to the top of your car. And if you want to take it off, you just unsqueeze on this side. You can see there are 2 pieces. Just squeeze both of them at the same time. You should be able to just disconnect this car mount. And once you have the car mount, this part ready, and here is the cable. You have this cable, the top of the cable, to go into the detector on top. And then this part is good to go. And then next, you need to plug in the GPS. The GPS has basically 3 parts. This is the actual unit, and this one, this 9-pin part, that will go into the detector on this side. You plug in and then screw it, make sure it's tight. So this one is going to connect to the detector and send GPS information into the detector. And then the USB part is for power, and this is the power battery jack. It will have 2 pieces of batteries in it, 2 batteries, 2 AA, and you put it together. And on the side, actually, you can turn it on and off. It stays in the middle, it's off, and there's a small flashlight. And then you need to push the other way, it says USB. Once it's in USB, actually, you can see there's a red light that is already on. And then you push USB cable in. And once you have it in, you can look at the GPS unit. On this side, there should be a tiny little red light. And if it has power, the light should be on. And now you can see actually it's flashing. Basically the GPS is ready and it's taking coordinates. So, and if it's not flashing, you just leave it under the car window, or you can put it outside of your car. So once it's flashing, it means it's good to go. And then once you have everything connected, you can turn the detector on. Once you turn the detector on, you get a little bit closer so you can see it. Once you press the power button, and it will go on. You need to check a few things first. I need to turn down the volume. The first thing you need to check are those 2 things. You need to make sure the audio division here is 16, and data division, the second light, is next to 8, so we keep them. If you see the change, just press the button next to it to adjust. So make sure every time the data division is 8, audio division is 16, and if you never accidentally touch them, they should stay the way it is. And then next, you want to look at this knob here. This one should stay somewhere around 5, just slightly past 5. And this is really easy to touch, and you probably, when you put it back to the box or something, it may turn. So make sure it's somewhere just slightly after 5, it'll be good. And then you can check those lights on this side. If everything is ready to go, the record light should be on and the status light should be on. And if you already have the GPS unit on and taking coordinates, the standby light should be flashing like every 5-10 seconds. I don't know how often, but it should be flashing like this. I'm not sure you can see very well, but you can see it's actually flashing. The second light is flashing. That means the GPS is good. And then if you want to test the detector, you just rub your finger next to a microphone. Kevin, can you do that, please?
Oh, yeah.
I need to cover it so people can see the light. If it's recording, it's taking the audio information, the data light should be flashing. And if you want to hear that, you can press the volume button up and it will be pretty loud. And you can hear that. Doesn't sound like that, like none of us can do it. Bad sound, but you will notice how they sound like. So basically, and if you don't like the noise, just turn the volume down, and the lights should be still flashing. The data light, that means it's taking signal, taking the data we need. This is how you set it up, and once you're done with everything, all you need to do is just press the power button to turn it off. Like between transects, like since you will have the whole thing for a few days or probably over like 2 or 3 weeks, normally we just leave this part together. All we do is actually just disconnect here, and sometimes we disconnect that to put the detector back to the box, and then leave the GPS unit and power jack together. And the very last, this is the most important thing, this power jack doesn't work very well all the time, and the connection is loose, and sometimes we just don't get power. So in your car, if you have a USB plug-in to charge your phone like this we strongly suggest using that instead of the power jack. So just like how you plug in your phone to charge, you just plug the USB part into the charger, and that will work better. And when you're driving the transect, make sure you double check the standby light every once in a while to see if it's flashing. If it's not flashing, that means there's no GPS information, and it's probably the cable connection is bad. And sometimes, like you can see those cables that have connections in the middle, just squeeze them, make sure they're tight. Sometimes they just don't stay the way it should be. So that's pretty much it. Also, if you do use this battery jack, make sure between transect you put it into middle to turn it off to save the battery. And this one needs a lot of battery to keep on. And for the detector, there's a low battery light. If this light is flashing, your detector probably will die in maybe 5 minutes or so. So it's always a good idea to have a few backup at least 4 AA batteries in your car with you when you're driving the transect, so you can just switch it out really fast. And I will put some batteries in the package I send to you. I think that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for driving the transect for us. Hopefully this video will help you a lot.